You go on Facebook and you can find out all the people close to you. You can find out their birthdays. Really easy to do. And then why you're going to want to do this is because a lot of the time, say if you're off Facebook for a little while, you may not have caught up on a friend's birthday. You know, everyone's written on the wall and you've somehow missed it, sadly. If you're kind of close to them but not mega close, then you're almost definitely going to miss it, because who remembers everyone's birthdays? So if you go into the Facebook, you go into the contacts, people that are close to you, people that this is going to be relevant to, jot their birthday down in your notes on your phone, or if you have a diary, that sort of stuff, make a note there. And then what you can do is, the day before their birthday, you can drop them a quick text or a line, and you can say something, you know, along the lines of this: dude, or whoever, busy tomorrow, so I might not get a chance. Happy birthday for tomorrow anyway. That's gonna look extra personal. You know, it's going to show extra care to that person, whereas most people will just write in their wall on the day, you know, like, oh, the mandatory congrats, happy returns, that sort of stuff. You've actually gone out of your way to message them the day before. So point number 2 is remembering people's names. So people struggle like with this sort of thing. People always struggle with this sort of thing, and I guess I used to. I worked out a little technique that works for me. You know, everyone learns differently at different paces, and they have different strategies, you know, whether it's writing or, you know, being taught or doing it themselves. I tend to find with myself, if I'm introduced to somebody, we'll say this person's called Sarah. So I'm introduced to Sarah. As soon as I'm being introduced and the name has been said, in my head I'm going, Sarah, 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 Sarah. I'm literally just saying her name over and over and over and over and over again. When there's a break in, a pause in sort of like the interaction, or my mate's finished talking or whatever, I'll then lean across and just ask her a question. But you have to then put the name. It's the first thing that you say. So Sarah, you know, where'd you come from, or what did you think of that talk, or that sort of, you know what I mean? So it's just saying the name, repeating it, bang, say it. This probably works, well, it does work with other stuff as well, like if you're actually learning new words and that sort of thing. It doesn't have to just be people's names, but this one is mega helpful for people's names. So point 3, this one again is just proper looking after yourself and just thinking about yourself in the future. Most people, when they leave the house, will just get in the car and drive, or when they get to the shops and stuff, they'll just buy what they need and then they'll go. What I tend to do is, if I know that I'm going to be driving a lot in that week, or I'm going to be, you know, doing a lot of miles, and I've just gone to the petrol station or get food or whatever, I'll buy extra stuff and I'll leave it in my glove box. It's so simple, so easy, but not many people do it. So like, say if you've got water or like a healthy snack like an apple or something, or you know, you're on a couple of cheat days, you just got your crisps or whatever you need, keep it in the glove box. And then if you're on the motorway tomorrow and you've got 30 miles or 20 miles in between the next, you know, petrol station, you're just gasping for a drink and you're so thirsty, bang, your drink's in the glove box. Just so easy, you know, it's so simple. That's a good way of kind of helping you going forward. So it doesn't have to just be like leaving food. It can be leave other stuff as well. So like leave an umbrella in the back of your car. You know, leave a coat. Always just leave a random spare coat. So just pick the coat that's not your favorite, or the one that you don't want to, you know, use or wear a lot. Keep it in the back of your car. You know, weather changes. As crazy as that sounds, it does. So, you know, you can be prepared for that, and it's just so easy. That pulls me on to the next point. So, yeah, number 4. If you love something, buy it twice. If you use something, buy it twice. So when you buy a phone charger, buy 2. They break, you might need one for the car. When you buy like a pair of sunglasses for a couple of quid from Primark or whatever, just buy 2. Just buy 2, and then you've got one in your house. And then when you get in your car and the sun, as it is now, is beaming into your eyes, you've just got another pair of glasses that's left in the car. So you get in the car and like, oh, damn it, I've got to go back upstairs to get my glasses. Just buy 2. Just have 2 sets of everything. It just makes it so much easier. Number 5. Write out a shopping list for when you're going shopping, but not in the sense of you write the list on the day on a piece of paper. If you run out of shower gel, have notes on your phone that literally just says shopping, and then you can just keep adding stuff and just taking away as you go. So then it's just absolutely relevant, and it's impossible to forget. Same as if you go to the fridge and you just run out of stuff. Don't leave it to like the day when you're writing your shopping list, or you're actually thinking about shopping. You will forget it. Even people that write lists on the day, you know, people just go through the fridge and they write lists, they always forget something. And what this means is, you go into the shops multiple times a week and you've got to just keep going back and forth for stuff, just write everything down. So you've got it all there, make your life so much easier. So number 6, don't believe everything people tell you. This is about your parents, this is about politicians, this is even about me. Don't believe everything people tell you. Think about it, challenge stuff. I'm not saying, be accusatory, or get into these sort of negative, get into this negative mindset where you're paranoid and you're thinking, oh, I don't trust what he says, I don't trust what he says, can I believe him? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about stuff that you've been told since you were younger, stuff that you get told all the time. Just consider the source and just think, why is somebody saying something to you? Why are there adverts there? Why is your boss asking you to do this? Especially anything that relates to you, like to you yourself, you personally. If you've got to do something, just think about why. Is that making them money? Is that making me money? Why do I want to do stuff? Why? Just question why anything happens and anyone does anything. When you do this, you'll notice that stuff that just shot over your head before when somebody asked you to do something, you'll find out the real intentions of people, good or bad. And sometimes it could even be your parents that are asking you to do something so basic or something, or they'll mention something subtly, and then you just have to just breathe and just think, why? What's the motivation? Why would somebody say that? Oh, bang, and your mind will blow. Your mind will literally blow when you realise, the stuff that people are saying, the stuff that people are doing, and the actual intentions behind it. This is how people become sheep. They just listen to everything people say, especially when it comes to the news and politicians. If you're listening to the news, it's just a negative place where you're at, really. You can go down a rabbit hole and you can just end up quite depressed and miserable. A lot of people have these problems. So if you feel ever that if you ever feel angry and you're sitting there and you think, just don't just sit there feeling angry, and you'll just say to your mate, say, oh yeah, how you getting on, mate? Oh, I've had a bad day, I'm just feeling a bit angry today. Why do you feel angry? And then you look back, I didn't feel angry before I started watching the news an hour ago, or before I was on TikTok for an hour. And then you'll realise, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong stuff, or I'm spending too much time on my phone, or I'm listening to the things that maybe I don't believe in, and it's just aggravating how I feel about stuff. So pay attention, in essence. That's all I'm talking about. Just pay attention to stuff. Just on a little side note, if you're getting some good stuff and good content from this, please comment, like, subscribe. Really helps the channel out. And then, like, as I said before, it's going to pop up with new videos for you. So if you could do that, brothers, that would be really cool. So point number 7. If you're going to go to new places, don't just drive to a new place, like especially when you're near getting there. Work out how you got there and work out a way back. A lot of people these days rely so much on like sat navs, but if you're end up in London, or you're in a sort of random place, or like random streets, and you get robbed, or you lose your phone, it dies, or whatever, and you haven't got the GPS sort of like or Waze or any maps on your phone, if they're sort of out of use, how are you going to get back? Look for things on your route that will help you navigate your way back. And that way, you can always get out of a tight situation, and you won't ever get lost. Nice and easy, really simple. So number 8, I think we're at now. So yeah, number 8 is stressful situations. When anything stressful ever happens to you, don't react emotionally. That's the feminine. Take a breath, breathe, chill out, and then let your man's brain come through. Let the brain process what's happening and then act decisively. So that one's just about stress, really. You've got a rational brain, and when everything's going on and you're processing what's happening, it just needs time to catch up. Just give it a sec to catch up. Whether you're in traffic and someone's beeping at you, or you're in a stressful situation, acting emotionally very, very rarely ever helps you in a situation. It's just going to hinder you, and it's just going to make you act out of character, or you're going to get judged on the stupid stuff that you do when you're emotional. And as I say, it comes across as feminine. So yeah, those are the 8 main tips that I wanted to give you. But number 9, the bonus one, and which is the most important one, I would say, is build your own common sense. Build your own common sense as you get older, as you experience stuff, as you're constantly switched on, your brain switched on, you're thinking about stuff constantly, or you're making mistakes. Those are the two ways that I see that you can build common sense, by using your brain, switching on, or making mistakes. The former, the using your brain side of things, that comes from concentration, focus, and actually a concerted effort to use your brain. So when you wake up, I mentioned the sheep thing before. When you wake up in the morning, you leave your house, like, everything is happening for a reason. Everything's going on, whether it's from adverts to business, subliminal messages, sex between men and women, food, like everything. There's all these things that are hitting you, but you're so used to your generalized life and the way that you've gone about things, that it's just your norm. You just end up at the train stop, you do this, you do your job, you get out, you get in, you get out. That's the majority of most people. And the majority of most people just tend to just live the same sort of boring lives, and they do the same sort of jobs. So as soon as you start unpacking that, chopping things up and actually using your brain, you'll start to make connotations and links, and you'll start to develop your own sort of like cool ideas and common sense, and you might even start to get a creative brain and start thinking of some stuff a little bit outside the box. On the mistake side of things, yeah, that's pretty standard. You know, man puts hand in fire, ow, burns it. Okay, common sense, don't put your hand in fire. That's pretty simple. You know, you make mistakes, you learn from them. Two people are at traffic lights, so two cars are at traffic lights. Why does the car on the right remain just until the amber and then green, but the car on the left is already going? He's already way past you by the time, and you were both at a standstill. Why has he gone way past you at the point where you're already just going off? It's because the sheep mentality, the don't think about things laterally or sort of like look outside the box mentality, they are just sitting there looking at their traffic light, waiting for it to go from red to amber to green. This dude here, who's actually switched on and he's aware of his surroundings, he's looking across the road to where the opposite lane of traffic's flowing. They've stopped, their light's on red facing the other way. He can see it go from green to amber to red. As soon as it goes red on that side, you know you're about to go green on this side. These are common sense things that we pick up in time. These are like, that's just one example of when people are in traffic, and some people are switched on, some people aren't switched on. But those sort of things are happening all the time. That's what life is, you know, these little tiny lessons and these little tiny intricacies. So yeah, those were, well, technically 9 points really that are just a bit common sense. I'm going to have this video as part 1, because in reality there's just going to be so many more little tips and little things like that that will just help with your life, and then you can add them to your utility, to your arsenal, and then you can just come up with stuff on your own. If you've got some cool common sense stuff that you've got going on you think might help out people, again, it's not life changing, but just like little things like that make the day go easier, just drop them in the comments. That'd be great. Yeah, other than that, dudes, be safe. I'll see you soon.